Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Kathie J Show, everybody. I have chills just opening the show today because I'm so excited for today's show. Thank you for joining us this half hour, and every day I love hanging out with you. And to everybody out there, if you missed a show, please go online to KathieJShow.com to catch anything that you might have missed. And follow us on social media. We always keep the conversation going there too. All right, so today, everybody, in honor of Women's History Month, I'm very excited for this. We have one of the pioneers of the Hispanic community, one of the pioneers of women in the Denver community, a trailblazer that's living her life and helping everybody. My guest today is Sharon Vigil, everybody. Yay! I love you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here, Sharon.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Oh no, it's an honor to have you here. We're going to get into your life during this half hour, but let's start with, where are you from? Did you grow up here in Denver?
No, actually, I was born in Walsenburg, and I was adopted.
Okay.
But I was adopted within the family because that's what they did back then.
Mm-hmm.
But my family are 5 generations from the valley. So being from the Walsenburg area, they came from Spain through Galveston, Texas, and settled in the Walsenburg area. And, we're 5 generations. We were here when it was Mexico. It wasn't the United States yet.
Isn't that crazy? So when someone says, go back home, you look at them and go,
I've been here a long time, and a lot of us have. And
yes.
our families were proud Americans. They served in every military. They served in every war. So we have a lot of roots in Colorado. So therefore, we have roots in the Hispanic community.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We just showed a photo of your family. You have how many kids? How many grandkids?
I have 1 daughter, and I have 3 grandkids, and they're Leah, Lewis, and Jolynn. And my granddaughter's with me today.
Yes, she's here today.
My daughter, my partner, and my husband, Antonio, and my daughter's husband, Joe. We make a great united unit that works together, and we all help within the community.
Oh no, you guys are amazing. There it is. Is that Linda's wedding photo?
Yes, that was her wedding
Beautiful.
photo.
I had to show this picture because you're looking fine, Sharon.
That was me back in the day.
But amazing. I mean, you had great hair. You still have great hair. So throughout your life, you've always been integrated in helping the community. Did it come from your family? Where did it come from?
Well, with my adopted mom, she always taught me about being loving. We grew up very poor, so whatever we had, she would always share. Well, I graduated from high school with honors and got a scholarship to go to Fort Collins. Mm-hmm. So in Fort Collins, I met Cesar Chavez.
Oh yeah, we're going to get to that. And he kind of exploded everything within you.
He did.
And it's crazy because we just reconnected because you're working with Ramos Law with their outreach program a lot, and I'm working with Ramos Law. They're amazing.
They're amazing partners. They're working with me on my group that I work currently with, SPMDTU, mm-hmm. which is Sociedad Protección Mutual de Trabajadores Unidos.
You say that much better than I could, because I tried.
And it's the oldest Hispanic organization in the country.
Since 1900, right?
Right, and it started in the Valley. And what they do is we help people in the communities. So with that, and Ramos Law and Tammy Quintana, who worked with me for years.
Yes.
We do a Christmas food basket every year.
Yes, and I was just with you at Christmas, and we did it.
Yes,
you also do scholarships through that program.
Mm-hmm. In June, we do a golf tournament. We do scholarships.
Yeah, you're not stopping. She's not stopping, everybody. So after the break, Sharon's going to share with us some memories and the lessons from her famous mentors, including, she already name-dropped, Cesar Chavez. We'll be right back. Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. Today we're speaking with Sharon Vigil, a woman that has spent her whole life helping others through organizations and programs that she's created. Sharon, I still have goosebumps every time I just get to introduce you. I've known you in the community for the 20 years, some years I've been working in radio, but I never knew where you got started. So let's talk about your mentors. Let's name drop them. All right, Cesar Chavez, he was your first mentor.
Yes, when I went to college in Fort Collins, CSU, is where I met Cesar Chavez. And I always thought I was poor, but when he introduced me to the farm workers, I realized that was a community that was really struggling. And so he taught me how to organize. And so I used to go to the fields and help organize the field workers to be union, which wasn't popular around farm workers.
I believe it wasn't, because the people owning the farms didn't want you unionizing their workers. They were enjoying probably taking advantage of them.
Exactly. And he taught me about having compassion for people who are less fortunate. But he also taught me about how to look at life differently.
Yes, right. And then you meet Corky Gonzalez.
Then I meet the wonderful Corky Gonzalez.
Political activist, yes, and just activist. He was a poet as well. Tell me about Corky.
He was a boxer, he was a poet, he was a community activist. He taught me about how to fight for things. Sometimes having compassion and being quiet doesn't work. You have to fight for things that are important in life. And so he taught me that. And I became friends with his wonderful wife, Jerry, who mentored a lot of women in the community, and his daughters, who became very good friends of mine and are still good friends. We meet once a month for lunch.
Yeah, she was like, I still hang out with Corky's daughters. That's awesome. The Kathie J Show was actually every Friday when we were building it. We would be at the Corky Gonzalez Library, and so so every time I was walking in, I was like, hey, Corky, because I just think it's great. He did so much, and he deserves the library and so much more named after him, just like Cesar does. So the last mentor for you is a woman, and it's Linda Alvarado. Linda Alvarado, everybody, if you don't know, she owns the Alvarado Trucking Company, construction company.
Alvarado Construction.
And she's part owner of the Rockies, Colorado Rockies. What did she teach you?
Well, I was with the Hispanic Chamber. I was a banker for many years, and when the boom of the bust happened, the oil bust, I was looking for a job, and I got a job at the Hispanic Chamber doing sales, and I worked my way up. And when it became time to become president of the chamber, I was hired, but there was a man before me, and because he had a degree, they didn't want to pay me as much as they paid him.
Right.
So what she did is she was chairman of the board, the first woman chairman of the board. She said equal pay for equal work.
Absolutely.
And so she was the champion right there. And then she mentored me and taught me a lot about business, how to make businesses successful, the trickle-down effect of businesses, and how our businesses, minority and women businesses in the community, really impact our whole community.
They do, and that's your whole thing. The trickle-down economy that Linda taught you, that means investing in schools, investing in programs for adults to get careers, right? When everybody has something that makes them better, we all win.
Well, and remember, trickle-down starts, if we support Hispanic businesses and say businesses get more contracts within the city and the government, what happens is they hire more people in the community.
Right.
The people in the community buy cars, they buy houses, their kids are better educated. And so it continues. The wealth continues because we are giving money to our future.
Right, and that's a message that we need to continue. Got to give to your future, the kids behind you. Everybody, when we come back, Sharon's daughter Linda is going to be joining us to talk about her amazing mother, and somebody got a congressional record. We'll be right back.
Kathie J.
The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on. Hello and welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. Today I'm honored to be speaking with Sharon Vigil, a leader for women in the Hispanic community and just a leader in the Hispanic community. Please also welcome her amazing daughter Linda to the show. Yay, Linda! All right, so Linda, I thank you for being here. Your mom is amazing.
Right.
Tell me why it was important for you to be here today.
She's a bit, we couldn't be proud of her. It tears us up when we see all that she's overcome in her life and endured in her life. It's been a lot, and she's pushed through all of it.
Now, when you were a little girl, you were stuffing envelopes with her. You were walking the streets with her.
I was.
She was like deep in her activism when you were a little girl.
Right. I never had a moment when I wasn't stuffing 1,000 envelopes. I never had a moment when I wasn't checking people in and putting stickers on them. I never had it. But that's what I know, and when you're used to it, I guess it's like a normal thing. It definitely wasn't normal for the kids around me.
Yeah, right.
But
you know what? But it made a big impact because when I saw you guys at Christmas with those food baskets, you were right there.
Right.
Taking names, helping other people, doing exactly what she taught you to do.
Yeah.
And that's her whole motto in life, is to teach the generations, teach the future.
Right.
And so I want to talk to you now about becoming the first woman president of the Denver Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. That is so big, so big. And there hasn't been a woman since you left, right?
Well, there has been.
Oh,
There
good.
was a woman afterwards. We made National Chamber of the Year, so we won a national award to being the largest chamber of the year.
That's awesome.
So we won so many different awards, and we put together programs that help businesses.
That was a big thing when you came into the Chamber of Commerce, is you went, we need programs. We need to be able to teach everybody. People need to get their money so we all win. What kind of stuff, tell us what you were so instrumental in doing.
Well, there were a lot of programs that we worked on to build up procurement and construction contracts within the community.
Yeah, the construction contracts is a big thing. That's
Well,
money, that's employment.
It's money, and we're paying taxes. So the money should go back to organizations and to businesses that are in Denver. We're
Yeah.
paying taxes, so we should benefit from some of the contracts that are out there. A good example is the Broncos Stadium.
Yeah, Mile High Stadium. Okay, tell everybody about that.
We worked with Pat Bolin. Pat Bolin wanted to have a stadium, and he met with a group of coalition, which is minority and women, Asian, Indian, Native American Indian, Black, and Hispanic, as well as organizations like NewsEd, like Escuela Tlatelolco. Different organizations were at the table.
Yeah.
He wanted the votes to get a stadium. We sat there and said, what's in it for us? And he said, well, what do you want? I said, well, we want 10,000 for each of the communities to have for their sponsorship or for their organization. We want a percentage of the construction. We want a percentage of the concessions. We want a percentage of the
Dang,
employment.
you just told Pat Bolin, we want percentages if you want our community.
And he said, well, I could do that. And I said, and I want it in writing, because people sometimes forget after
They
they
do
make
forget,
promises.
yes they do.
But he said, sure. And he did it. We got the Bronco Stadium passed, so we created a new stadium. 35% of the contracts went up to minority and women.
That's
in the
awesome.
construction. We got a percentage of the concession. We got money from all the different sponsorship. And he lived up to everything. I can't say how proud I was of working with Pat Bolin, because it's good to work with a man of integrity,
Yeah.
who also gives back to the community.
Yeah, no, that is amazing, and unfortunately, some of the programs and stuff that were created with that money are no longer there, which is a downside, because that's about the future that we've been talking about. Did you know that she was so big in the community when you were coming up?
I was with her a lot. I was at the hotels. I was at every ski fiesta event. I was at every. Yeah.
Yeah, no, when she sent me her resume, everybody, and on it there was a list of the awards and stuff, and that was 2 pages. It was longer than the resume of things that people have acknowledged you for, your hard work. Let's talk about your congressional record. Senator Udall went to the Congress floor, and tell us about that.
He presented me in the Congress floor, and so I have a congressional record in Washington, D.C. for Hispanic community activism. And it was a very proud time of my life, because it was something that, you very few people get, but to be acknowledged. And I never did anything to be acknowledged. I did it because I care about our community.
You still do. I mean,
And I still
you
do.
are, you have Parkinson's, and you're still in the community. You were out there that whole day. You are not stopping. You were still taking phone calls. You were still helping people that didn't get the baskets. You don't stop, Sharon, and you deserve everything that you've gotten. What did you learn from being the president of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I learned that when you help people build up their businesses and they become successful, they give back to the community. And again, the trickle-down effect works. But what it is working together. And we need to work together as communities. It doesn't matter about political parties. It doesn't matter about genders. It's important for us to work together to build a healthier, stronger, more vibrant community of leaders.
You're absolutely right, and you were the head of the Minority Coalition, which was women and minorities. You were saying that's like 50% of the buying power, right?
Right.
And yet that's also the weakest, I feel. Like, women come in with less pay already. We come in with not as much work experience. Then you're dealing with minorities who might be dealing with systemic racism, who knows what has held them back. How do you help those that really need it? I mean,
Well, there's a lot of people that still work with minority business, and the Hispanic Chamber still continues, and there are the various chambers. There's a lot of organizations in Metro Denver that still do it. But what we have to do is increase the procurement of the projects that we receive in Colorado. It's really, really important that we learn how to continue to get our share of money.
Yes, because the money's out there.
The money's out
The
there.
money is out there.
We're paying taxes on it. The contracts shouldn't be going to out of state. They should stay more in state, more into the businesses in Colorado.
I agree.
And Linda Alvarado taught me that a lot about, she taught me everything about business and construction and contract, about how when we continue to build with the businesses, we continue to build the health and wealth of our community.
Yes, absolutely. And when we come back, everybody, exactly what Sharon just said, when you continue to build, you're continuing to build the health and wealth of the community. Where do we go from here? We'll be right back.
Kathie J.
Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness.
Kathie J.
Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. That was a big sigh because I'm so sad that the half hour is coming to an end. Today we've been speaking with Sharon Vigil as well as her daughter Linda about Sharon's life as a service to our community. Everyone, this is JoLynn, her granddaughter. Thank you for being here. So where do we go from here, Sharon? How do we continue to help?
Well, we need to continue to develop leaders with my daughter, my granddaughter. There's a lot of people out there. There are a lot of people who help me with my leadership, the Veronica Barelas, Ramona Martinez, Ron Montoyas of the world,
Yeah.
the Z Farabinos, who helped all of us to develop into the being leaders. So therefore, we need to continue to develop our leadership because our future is in the hands of these young people.
Right. And if we don't teach them to respect people, then they're not going to be caring about making sure somebody over here gets a contract. They're not going to care about, being nice to somebody if they don't have food. They're not going to care.
We have to teach them to be responsible young people, to care about the community, to be giving to the community, and to always share. It doesn't do any good for organizations or people to fight each other. We have to work together to build something that's going to have a strong foundation.
But greed keeps people from working together.
Exactly.
And you've probably you've been in male-dominated fields your whole life,
There's
right?
a
Even when
pie-
you worked at the bank, you were there.
Absolutely. And there's a share of the pie. They give us a slice and say, here, you guys fight for this side.
Right.
You know what? There's a whole pie. We should have half the pie.
You're right.
So instead of fighting for the little piece, let's all work together and fight for half of the.
And she's proven it can be done, everybody.
It can
The
be
trickle-down economy theory does work.
It does work. And what we need to do is continue to do it.
Yes, and continue to do it. You're proof that you're continuing to do it. JoLynn, you were also out there when I was out when we were doing the baskets and stuff. So this is nothing new for you to be volunteering and helping people.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I love that. And what grade are you in?
Fifth.
Fifth grade, and she's helping, and you must be really proud, Linda.
Yeah, she does a good job. She's so into it too. I don't have to tell her to do it. She wants to go and do it, So that's a big deal when you don't want to have to drag them out the door to do it. They just want to go out and do it,
Right, because it's just a part of life. It's part of your life.
Right.
It's part of what I ingrained in them, and she's ingrained into my grandkids.
Yeah, that's going to make you so proud. Okay, so let's talk about education funding and what you think could also be needed in the community.
Well, we do a lot of scholarship programs, and that's wonderful. There's a lot of people that want to go to college. But there's other groups out there there's trades that you make a lot of money. There's HVAC, plumbing, electrical.
The Home Building Academy
The
on
home
56th,
building.
yes.
Repairing cars. You have to have a computer skills to repair a car now because everything's computerized.
You do.
They make over 100,000. So there's a lot of careers that people could go for that are necessarily going to college.
But still pay really
But
well.
still
and you
pay
can
really
support a
well,
family.
and that could help them buy houses and cars in the future.
And it seems like just common sense stuff, but it's really about getting that message out there to the communities. This generation might not have gotten the message, but we can tell the younger generation, you can do whatever you want.
You could do whatever you want. Don't look at just these are the only jobs that pay any money.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the other jobs pay more money than what these jobs are.
Yes, they do. I tell my daughters all the time, become a business manager. Those people make a lot of money. Final thoughts that you want to say to everybody in Denver today?
Well, I think it's important to get involved in organizations. There's a lot of organizations like the Hispanic Chamber, of course. There's SPM DTU. There is Latina First Foundation. There are groups out there. There's
Church
Servicios
groups.
de la Raza. There's churches. There's different organizations that you could get involved with to help build our community. Make sure you get involved, but get your kids involved. That's really important because you want them to pass it on to future generations.
Exactly, because that's your legacy. It was nice that you got all these wonderful awards, but the proof of your life is right here.
This is my proudest moment, is to be with my daughter and my grandkids and be able to say, this is the future, and I helped create the future.
You're going to make me cry. Sharon Vigil, everybody. Thank you so much, Sharon Vigil and Linda and Joe Lynn, for being here. You guys are amazing. Thank you.